Agreement. Okay, the subject and verb must agree in number. They must be the both in singular or the both in plural. For example, the kid jumps, he or she jumps, they are both in singular. So the verb and the subject are both in singular. The verb does migrate, it does. They are both in singular. Both in plural, the kids jump, they jump. And those verbs do migrate, they do. Both are in plural, so it makes sense.
Most likely, your verb will agree with your first noun to the left of the verb. Here's an example. The Supreme Court judge decides a prepaid penalty. The subject in this sentence is judge and the verb is decided. Occasionally, a sentence has the subject after the verb. Over the ripples lays a small canoe. In this sentence, the subject is a small canoe and the verb will be leads. You will not find the subject in a modified phrases. A phrase starts with a preposition. It will be like. Again, in this sentence, the subject is the quarterback and the coach because we have an N. The verb is are having. This sentence is in plural because we have an N. This. If subjects are joined by or honor, the verb should agree with the closer subject. In this case, the group is the subject, and the modifying phrase is of the students. And the verb will be is. If subjects are joined by and, they are considered by plural. In this sentence, the subject is actors and director, and the verb is this.
Relative pronouns are either singular or plural. For example, sales managers are good researchers who spend a great amount of time. The subject will be sales manager. And the verb are and spend. Indefinite pronouns are considered singular and need singular verbs, although they convey plural meaning. For example, anyone who wants to pursue higher education has to pass the entrance exams. So the subject will be anyone, and the verb wants and has. A few nouns can be either plural or singular depending on whether they mean a group or a separate individuals. So the subject will be Yuri and the verb is. A few subjects look plural but are really singular. Will be news and the verb will be is. Sentence fragments. A sentence fragment is a sentence without a subject, a verb, or a complete idea. For example, playing the guitar. This sentence doesn't have a subject, so a correct sentence could be John was playing the guitar. A common mistake are the dependent clauses, because they do have a verb and a subject, but they don't have a complete idea because they depend on other sentence. And they start with subordinators, like since, before, while, if, after, etc. For example, because it was raining. This is a dependent clause. So a correct sentence could be I didn't go to the party because it was raining. So the only things you need to know for having a complete sentence is to make sure that it has a verb, a subject, and a complete idea.
Relative clauses are clauses starting with the relative pronoun who, that, which, whose, where, and when. They are almost often used to define or identify the noun that precedes them. We have some examples. Can I have the pencil that I gave you this morning? Subject pronouns. A subject pronoun is a subject of a sentence that is a person or thing that performs the action of the verb. Here is an example. John is tall and John is intelligent. We do not normally say in that form. Saying the word John twice is repetitive and does not sound natural. We replace subject John that appears the second time with a subject pronoun to avoid a repetition. So we would say John is tall and John is intelligent. We replace the second John with the subject pronoun he. The 7 basic pronouns have one form when they are used as subjects and another when they are used as objects. When they are used as object, are what is affected by the action of the subject. When they are used as subjects, are what the sentence is about. Object pronouns are used instead of nouns, usually because we already know what the object is. We have 2 examples. I like whiskey. In this sentence, I is the subject. I read books. In this sentence, books is the object that is receiving the action. Relative adverbs. What is a relative adverb? A relative adverb can be used instead of a relative pronoun plus a preposition. This often makes the sentence easier to understand. We have an example. That's the restaurant where we met for the first time. We use met or in which. It has the same meaning. We will talk about the defining and not defining relative clauses. The defining relative clauses give detailed information defining a general term or expression. Defining relative clauses are not put in commas. This information is crucial to identify what is a defining and what is a not defining relative clause in a sentence. We have an example of not defining relative clauses. Do you know the girl who is talking to Tom? Defining relative clauses are almost used to describe someone or something. We have an example. A seaman is someone who works on a ship. Not defining relative clause. Not defining relative clauses give additional information on something, but do not define it. Not defining relative clauses are put in commas. We have another example. Do you know the girl, comma, who is talking to Tom? Note: in not defining relative clauses, who, which may not be replaced with that. Object pronouns in not defining relative clauses must be used.